What is up, everybody? My name is Donnie. I am that D from the D&D Show.
I'm Dylan. I'm that D from the D&D Show.
And I'm Chandler Chizzle Flanagan.
Yeah, we're looking up here. Camera's right.
I'm Chandler Chizzle Flanagan.
He's used to his setup. We've been waiting to get him on the show for a while. We've been talking about it. And last week we actually started off with our topic that we're going to be talking about today, and that's a little bit of persistence.
Part 2.
Part 2. Persistence part number 2. So if you haven't seen last week's episode, go back, check out last week's episode. It really builds up into what we got going on here. And this is, like we said, Chizzle. He's a musician. He's a producer. He's a hip hop artist, and he's been doing what he's been doing for a really long time. And his results are really starting to come through and really shine for him now. It's the compound effect in action. I should say. Pretty much. All right, so how'd you get started?
Well, pretty much I moved here from Vegas originally. My family, we were forced to move here. My stepdad left us practically homeless, and my grandma brought us in, and then we moved to Havasu, and then from there here, and then through frustrations of like being bullied from being an outcast, or my accent, the music I listened to, took my frustrations out on a pen. Years later, I would get more into like producing and making beats, and then I just took it more serious. The more I grew, so pretty much all I really want to do is just grow from it, just out of frustrations and try to get out of human, and it just kind of did its own thing from there.
Right. So when you how old were you when you really started getting serious about it?
Well, starting when I was 14, so probably about 18. That's when I really started getting more into like recording, but I didn't know what mixing was. And then in 2009, that's when I actually got into an actual professional studio called Platinum Sound Lab. And then from there, I took it serious. And
it's been what? It's been about 10 years now since you've been really taking it seriously and really going at it now.
14 years.
And so what is it that's happened lately that's really kind of proven?
Persistence paying off.
Exactly. Yeah.
Persistence, pretty much just hitting people up, finding record labels that want to sign me. Pretty much. So far, I have Wilmon and Stan Doris that actually want to sign me to them. I met the CEO as well as the president. My last show I did, which was
last weekend.
Yeah.
You did a little.
The 29th. I lost. Yeah.
Last week. That was last week. It was the first big show for. And what record label was that?
It was Vegas Mob Records.
Nice.
Yeah.
So it's really getting up there. So it's really starting to prove off. So like you said, it's been.
I also wanted to go with Abandoned Records too. That's my dude, Charles Cole, or otherwise we know him as Seasickness, but he didn't have enough people, so I was taking on different alternatives. And right now I'm in the process of seeing if I can't hook up my dude with these people and then have a big thing, you know what I mean, big nonchalant thing.
Right. Well, and you've had your own little indie record label that you've been doing for a while now.
Right? And that record, that is the end goal after everything. That is my dream, my big pursuit, my thing. I want to take care of my own artists, kind of like what BMR is doing, because they're more interested in helping the artists and trying to get them a boost in career. And they know what I want to do, and they're like, cool. So
you guys really got a kind of a sick little collaboration thing going on there.
Yeah.
And what was the name of yours again?
89 Records.
89 Records. And I dig it. So, and how did 89 Records come about? How did you really create that? Because I know we've known each other for a long time. Very long time.
High school.
Oh yeah, we go back.
Quite all timers. You used to call us dumb.
that was in the art class. We weren't always super serious like we are now.
Yeah.
Yeah. So when we go back a long time, so I've seen all this. I've seen it go on. So you've done the other things with everybody else. So, but
you were witnessing progressing it.
Oh yeah, all along the way. So I've seen you come from, being at shows with, Shop Boys and stuff like that, where a good friend of ours, Ronnie Jones, Low Flow, actually opened up for them. Coming and seeing you kind of you guys freestyling,
all
just
the good stuff, yeah.
kind of shutting down.
To be honest though, back to the original question, Ronnie Jones is actually the main reason why I actually took it mixing more serious, because back then I lost my computer and fell off and broke and I didn't have nothing. So he's like, yo, here's my PC, just use it, do whatever the hell you want with it. and it had Cool at a
Ronnie, you better be watching right now. He's shouting you out, fool.
I gave him a shout out on his phone. Yeah, dude.
He does. He's got some music up on there that he needs to start getting more serious about.
Yeah, he does. He needs to put me in solo.
Oh,
He has
shots
potential.
fired.
He has potential. Like I'm gonna call it what it is. He has potential. He's put that potential to seriousness.
Exactly.
Love the dude.
Pick up a little bit of persistence himself. He actually, what was it? It was 2 weeks ago. He decided he was going to enter the Kabam Slam, and he kind of freestyled his own little poetry. And it was his first time, and he took 3rd place on
I remember that. He was telling me about that last time.
Yeah, I have the video of it. I just need to get that to him.
But technically, initially, he's the one that really sparked the interest in racing. He had Cool at a Pro on there, and he was like, "Dude, learn this program. I love it." So I actually started looking up on Google and YouTube, like how to actually mix properly and actually get more serious. And from there, and then how 89 Records came about was like I said, it's always been a thing of mine. I've always wanted to have my own record label. I remember telling a couple people back from high school, like Josh Napier. I don't know if you know Josh Napier.
My cousin.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, we used to be like best friends in high school and stuff. And I remember telling him one day I'm gonna drop an album, I'm gonna own a record label. Now I'm like 14 albums in, and it's just been something I always wanted to do. And 89 Records just when they popped into my head, it was just like it had that flow.
Yeah. And Josh, he's got some really, really sick tattoo work now. He's doing really well for himself.
And I just recently saw the video he did that went like viral. He had like 20,000 views on it.
Oh yeah, him and his baby mama dance.
No, he was singing. He was like, I want to say the tattoo parlor or.
Oh yeah, he's had quite a few that have done it. Yeah.
Yeah. Now, I see one, dude. It sounded really good too. So it's like, dude, I want to be there.
Yeah, it's awesome. He's doing really well for himself now too.
So what was the belief level, not only yourself but people around you, when you're like, hey, I'm going to be a rapper or a hip hop artist, or hey, I'm going to come out with my own album? Like, what was your reactions in the beginning and stuff?
From their reactions?
From those around you, close to your friends,
I didn't care what they thought. I just knew what I wanted to do and what I wanted to do counted. I know I didn't want to work a 9 to 5, and I knew I had something potential building up in me, and it's just something I knew I had, and I had to pursue it by all means because it just felt right. It just felt like my path. So that's pretty much my reaction. Screw what everyone else thinks. I got people that still look down on me because of the fact that I'm not to where I want to be, and I still at home with my folks just about. But it's like it's not even about that. It's about pursuing what you want so you can move out and do it the right way. Right. And so many people are so interested into rushing. Like, okay, got a job, get a place, so on. It's like, even though it is frustrating for me, I just like to hold back so I can move forward. It's like a slingshot, as I call it. A slingshot effect. You got to pull back to launch forward. So
love that. I do love that.
So I'm still at square one, but it's the fact that it's always been on my gut. Yeah, so it's
like the Chinese bamboo tree. I mean, you're kind of underground. You're getting watered. You're doing all this work behind the scenes. Everyone's like, yeah, you're not doing nothing, man. Whatever, yada yada. And then boom, now you're looking at getting signed. Mm-hmm. Now you're on a legitimate path. And this stuff, it seems like nothing happened, and then boom, it spikes.
Yeah.
So it sounds like you're doing the right things. You're taking the right steps.
Kind of like a forex trade.
Right.
It goes back a little bit and goes down to where you want it. And the only reason why it took me this long to get to where I wanted is because I've been in pursuit of building 89 Records, and I was like, nah, screw being signed. I want to be independent. I want to do what I want to do, and so on and so forth.
You're thinking too small.
Exactly. And I just had that mindset, like, I'll do this. I know one day it'll take effect and blow up. And then I was messing with Ronnie Jones III, as well as, Cali Smiles. And I had so many artists come through, and I figured like I would always have a team and, shut up and put the work in. Teamwork makes the dream work, but nobody ever took it serious. And I was more focused on that. And that's when I was like, okay, slingshot effect, set myself back, put 89 Records to the side. Let's actually go get signed to a record label. We'll see how it works from the inside out and how they handle the artists. And then, kind of get paid to do what I want to do. So that was my main thought. So it's like, 89 Records is a dream, but let's set it to the side and take a launch to where I want to go in life.
And then that moves into sales. I mean, because basically anything in sales, you take your entirety of like your crowd. You know, there's only going to be a % of that crowd that like you, and there's going to be a % of that crowd that buys. And then once that crowd starts getting going, you start gaining popularity. So then you grow a little bit, and you get on the radio, you start getting circulated and stuff, and then more people start to like you, more people start to like you. And I don't think that full process is understood by a lot of people.
No,
they just think, oh, this guy's going to be, he says he's going to be a rapper, and 3 months from now he's not a rapper. Like, I knew he wasn't going to do it.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden you blow up, and they're like, oh, yeah, he got lucky for sure.
Yeah, but I you know, being in more of business and like learning from like network marketing that we're in actually, and reading the books, I actually hate the word luck in talent now.
Right.
I do. People who call me lucky, they don't understand like the tears and the fears that I went through, the struggles.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
You know,
I don't believe in luck. Talent, I definitely believe in luck.
I believe in talent to a degree. Like if you're born with, there are people out there that just have the vocals born with it. They don't know until later on. But like, you know, like it's a fire in you. You know, it's like you have to be the persistence in it. You know, it's like no matter what, you're gonna stick it out to the end, and that's what I've done.
Well, the thing I feel with talent is everybody does have their talents, and everybody has the things that they want, but it's a real specific thing. And other people who are more talented in certain things, like if I sat here and tried to write a hip hop song, you're going to be better at that. You have a better talent than that. But I write more rock punk songs, like and they go really well together. You can translate one to the other, but they're very different. You know, and it's like I play drums, and I love hip hop beats, actually playing them behind a real drum set. And you produce these awesome beats, but if you sit behind a drum set, like it's a different thing. So it's talent does have a big factor in it, but luck has nothing to do with it. Luck is a terrible word. It's probably one of the worst words out there.
Lucky is when you hit the lotto. But even then, I don't even consider that luck. You know, like it's just, I don't know. Yeah,
well, but the talent, the hard work and talent will beat luck any day of the week. Because even if like you were to sit behind a drum set, like you don't know like how to do the fills and everything else, but you can mess around with the sounds and you can figure it out because you know how to produce those beats. So it's a natural talent that I have, that I can go back there and I can just start rattling stuff off.
Yeah, it's the fire.
Well, yeah, but that's the difference on the talent, is you're going to have to work at it a little bit more, but we can both get the same things done. And you've obviously pursued more into the music industry than I have. So, and you've gotten further along with it, and it's not even actually playing the instrument.
Right. Yeah. And even persistence can beat talent. You know, if Donnie's hanging out, he's got the drum set in his room. He looks at it, he walks by, messes with it here and there, you know, before he takes a shower, goes sit down for 2 minutes, and you go to a guy from one of the popular bands and you go, look, I'll friggin' sweep out your garage every day if you teach me how to play the drums. And you are hammering it hours and hours and hours a day, and you don't give up. Like, you can surpass Donnie because you have that persistence.
Yeah.
And I think that everybody needs to realize that is, if there's something you want, you're probably going to suck at it at the beginning.
Yeah.
And then if you have that persistence, you're going to learn, you're going to get better. And then people are going to look at you and go, whoa, man, like, where did that come from? When did you learn that?
Yeah.
How did you get there?
What's a paradiddle?
Yeah.
What? Yeah, I don't know. You know what I mean? But that persistence, man, I think
there's a lot of things that I got frustrated. I remember when I first started making beats, and I would listen to like Dr. Dre or like Eminem beats or whatever, and I'd get so pissed off with myself because I couldn't figure out how to make my sound sound like their sound, more professional. My bass and kicks used to be up higher and nothing. I never understood the mixing process. So
I think Ray said that too. He said there's a kid playing the piano, and he was sitting there and he was getting mad. And they asked him, you know, what's going on? He's like, I can't get my hands to play what's going on in my mind.
Yeah.
I see, and I know that behind the drum set, because when I was younger, like, I wanted to go out there and like I wanted to be like Jimmy the Red Sullivan and, you know, Mike Portnoy and, you know, Neil Peart, and I just wanted to like start doing all these crazy fills and like 5-way independence, and like I could do the things, but I just like, and I had the way I wanted it to sound. Like I want this to go do Dutch, but I couldn't get my body to do Dutch. And like for a while I was like, you know what, this sucks. I'm terrible. I'm never going to be good at this or anything else.
But you come right back to it.
I do. I did. And like you hear the other people saying it, you're like, no, I'm not that good. Like stop. Like it's whatever. And then all of a sudden you hear yourself play, and you're like, holy crap! Like that's me.
Yeah.
Like you have to look at it from the outside and quit judging yourself so much, because as long as you stay consistently persistent at it and go at it, you're going to get better.
And successful people almost have an obsession with the thing that they're locked onto, because they're like, you throw your drumsticks down the hallway and then you go pick them up and you're like, I'll try tomorrow.
Yeah, there's been so many times where I was like,
no, I throw them and I stick them into the wall, and I'm just like, all right, I'm gonna go grab that now, and I'm gonna do this. I feel better now that I did that, dude. I put drumsticks through.
But I think if you don't feel the frustration or the anger in it, you're not serious.
Right.
That just shows you're
You
hungry.
want more.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's like the Incredible Hulk. The more angry he gets, the more he wants to destroy. You know what I mean? So it's kind of the same effect. The more angry you get, the more you want to build. The more angry you get, the more you want to create, or depending on where you want to go. And it's like that, like to do anything. It was like that with me through Forex trading, network marketing. It's like now that I'm actually getting to where I want to be, it's like cool. I can actually relax, set back, slingshot effect I was talking about, and now it's like my trades are better, so on and so forth. There's been times where I just threw my phone at the couch. I was like, screw it, I'm done. I'm hauling out of my network marketing, and then I'm done.
Yeah.
And then I come right back, and it's like, nah, it's
And
stupid. I'm stupid if I quit.
Yeah, there's something inside people
Exactly.
like us that have that fixation that you always want more. You always want to be a little bit better, or you want to be one of the best. Or there's always that attraction. You're like, I'm not going to do it on Saturday. I'm not going to do my music. This weekend I'm going to relax, and then you find yourself back at the computer. You find yourself thinking about beats, or you find yourself writing down lyrics.
Well, especially when it becomes a habit, you're just so used to doing it more and more. It just becomes a habit. And it's like me, like I like waking up, get my coffee. First thing I do before I get my coffee, I just put it on my computer, and then I do my thing, and then I like check the news, see what's going on in the world, and then from there I just do my music. So it's like, it's a habit. Once you develop a habit, it just becomes normal. It's natural. You don't even think twice about it.
Well, it's like people picking up Facebook. Hey, Facebook, how's it going? but most of the time they're just sitting there and they just like when they're on break at work, what are they doing? They're staring at this.
Yeah.
And
They're watching the D&D show.
Yes, they are watching the D&D show. Everybody is. You should too. Tell your friends.
It's fun.
But when it goes out there and actually does it, like people, they get sucked into what's actually going on here, and we actually never even.
Oh no way! The D&D show's on.
What?
It
It
is.
must be 4:30 on a Friday. Yeah, I'm in.
DJI.
Get your weekend started right with the D&D show and the DDC CDP CD. CD. There's a CD. There's a new CD, a new album that you put out recently. When did that come out? When did you
Actually
release that?
came out like a week ago. I just haven't been able to have the chance to promote it like I wanted to. So yeah.
Well, that's what we're here for now. Plug it in now. Let's go.
The record.
Zigzag.
Zigzag.
A little play off my name.
Seen that.
Yeah. So yeah, that's pretty much what it is. It has like 20 tracks. I worked my ass off to produce it. Yeah. I mean, 2 of them are pretty much skits, the intro skit, the out skit, or the outro skit. But yeah, other than that, I mean, you got like 18 tracks on it, so I worked my ass off.
See that, and that was like I used to love listening to the skits, like on old like Eminem did it a lot, and that's the one that everybody's gonna know. I don't really listen to Eminem too much. It's just a personal preference. Don't hate on me. I know everybody's like, what do you mean? I get it all the time. It's just a personal preference.
Yeah,
but like I love the little skits, the little breaks in there, having your own little sense of humor in it. Like,
yeah.
Obviously, Dylan and I do that a lot with the show. We're always messing with each other, saying we're doing something a little bit silly. And actually, if you guys want to listen to Zigzag, you can actually find it on YouTube. Look up Chizzle 72. It's actually running across the bottom of the screen right now. Where else are you at? Where else can we find your music?
I'm everywhere. You can just Google me, Chizzle72, or otherwise you go on Google Play.
You're
iTunes.
that big? Google just comes out like you Chizzle 72, and Google's like, here, this is what you want.
You type in Chizzle 72, it'll pop up.
Nice.
Instagram,
Word.
everything. Yeah.
Okay, so that's kind of like a one-stop shop for it. We are actually going to be posting all of that in the comments down below just after this.
My albums are a little bit different. You actually have to type in my name, in the album name. Like, so there's Digits, there's Zigzag, it's Time, the Unheard 2.
I have quite a bit of those. I wish I would have brought them.
Like actually, I actually went through all of my albums because, like, technically speaking, I have like 14 albums I produced. So that's from when I first started to all that stuff. It's just I'm actually going back through my oldest stuff and redoing the beats, so I own my stuff 100%.
Nice.
So I don't have to deal with like
Licensing,
sound clip type stuff like that. Yeah. So I actually own 100%. So I'm going to come up and
I've been around the hip hop
That's
scene for
mine.
so like a lot of the people around here they start to get more serious about it, and they get the free beats online and everything else. And in the background you hear beats. Like right in the middle of the hook.
Cruising.
And I got tired of those tags too. So.
Oh, dude, and like sometimes like it would be like a real cool, chill, like laid back beat. Like Today Was a Good Day by Ice Cube, so it's just like real slow and chill black, and all of a sudden you're beat black. It's like what?
Honestly, what really got me set on the I shit you not, like what really got me set on
This is a family show, sir.
This is like a moment of like, okay. So it was actually Hobson that actually got me on the track of taking my beats more serious, because back then, like, if you were a white rapper, or even today, like, if you're a white rapper doing something like that, you'd be considered Eminem. So I would always do the reverse of that, So if I wasn't rapping on Eminem beats, everyone would call me Big Eminem. But if I started rapping on Eminem's beats, nobody would, call me close to it. So I had this song called I'm an MC, and it's from the Fallout Reborn, which I still have to go through and do it.
Yeah.
And Hobson was actually taking, like, he'll give you notes like you suck as a rapper or what you need to do and how to fix on it. So I actually posted my video, I'm an MC, that used to be on YouTube. It's not no more. And he was actually like, yo, you're dope though. But I think it's the Eminem beat that made it hot. So I was like, whoa. So that's when I really started, was like, okay, that's when I really need to kick things into gear. And that's when I started taking beats more serious. And that's when I started messing with heavy hop, and we did. My first song I ever produced was Negativity. So from there, I never looked back. And that was the whole point of the album. It's time. It's like it's a whole new beginning. It's time to bring out what I can actually bring out. So it's like, yeah,
it's a whole new awakening, whole new rebirth.
Exactly.
Yeah, and I've noticed that like you have these little names to your albums that have something a little more personal to you that some people just be like, oh, that's me. Yeah,
actually, because like I said, I went back through all my albums, and I made all the covers for them, and starting with the Fallout Genesis, I kind of made it's like a book to chapters, you know what I mean? So it's like Fallout Genesis, Already Begun, as well as the Come Up, which is actually the Come Up Already Begun, and then you have the Fallout Reborn, which is Music Medicine, Chizzle, It's Time, Zigzag, and all that, and then Zigzag is the close of that chapter, and then I'm going to work on the Fallout Apocalypse, which is next, which is going to be like X, or whatever comes out after that, and then like the Unheard 3 are just like two different things. So
I like that. So it's basically a string of concept albums. Yeah, it kind of reminds me of like Coheed and Cambria.
Yeah.
How they have their story arcs that they do through their music, and their whole album tells a difference. I like that. That's pretty awesome.
It was actually something I discovered by accident, because like I was like, I couldn't come up with a concept for Fallout Reborn, and I didn't really like the cover that I have that's up on Google Play and out right now for Fallout Genesis, so I kept it all the same, like the same writing and everything. It was just two different things. Like it's pretty much just a writing cover, and then it has like Fallout Genesis, and then what it's gold, and then Fallout Reborn is silver, and then Fallout Apocalypse is red, and then I think I'm gonna do a fourth one, just kind of do that, but I don't know what I'm gonna call it yet. So it's just it'll come.
Yeah, exactly. It'll come once you start going at it. Yeah. That's awesome. So we covered how to find you. Get on Google. Go listen to his new album, Zigzag. It's out on YouTube. Is that new, or is it's a remaster?
It's new. It's new, 100%.
Okay, 100% new. Go catch up on the latest chapter of Chizzle. And while you're there, take a look at the whole back catalog, whatever he has up there. By the way, since we're promoting it and you started promoting it, you got to get that stuff back up there.
Oh yeah.
Get it out there.
You got a show today too, right?
No, I don't think I'm gonna get the show on the 13th, like I was telling him.
Okay.
So what I did is I hit up Will and told him, like after the 13th, we're there, and so on and so forth.
You just name dropping like microphone, aren't you?
Yeah, dude, what's up, Will?
Those names up for you.
Yeah, exactly. Excuse me, sir, you dropped those. But yeah.
Tell your friends.
But yeah, so I hit Will up and told him whatever is after that, just let me know, and I'm giving it till Sunday. I told them to blow up their phones as part of that persistence.
Right.
It's like I'm hungry, I want to get it. I haven't signed the contract.
That might be a warning to you guys. You might want to just answer it.
That's how I got
all those name drops. Chizzle's calling you.
Yeah.
Hey, you know what though? Everybody we've listened to, all our mentors that we followed coming up, going through sales, going through music, going through everything, like every single one of those people are successful for a reason. And they're not the ones that, like Les Brown, when he wanted a job to be a disc jockey, he showed up and he's like, hey, good morning, sir, I'd like a job, whatever. And he's like, no, get out of here. So the next day he's like, hey, good morning, sir, I want a job. He's like, didn't I see you yesterday? He's like, yes, sir, but I didn't know if maybe someone got sick, someone got fired. He's like, no one got sick, no one got fired, now get out of here. So the next day he comes up, hey, good morning, sir, how you doing? I'm Les Brown, I want a job. He's like, what's wrong with you, man? Didn't you come here yesterday? He's like, yeah, well, I didn't know if someone died or, ran away. He's like, no one ran away or got sick or got fired, nothing. He's like, get out of here. So he's like, okay. Next day he comes back. He's like, good morning, sir. He's like, go get me some coffee.
Yeah, that's
yes, sir.
That's exactly how I got all my jobs, too. That's exactly how I got the job at Smith's. Like, the hiring manager's name is Lynette, the HR. She was like, I'm just going to hire you because I have a stack of names or a stack of papers with your name on them.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm here. You got to get the attention. I'm persistent.
Like,
look at me.
I would just do it a little bit more like hockey-wise. Like I know I'm going to get the job, so what I would do is I'll shake their hand
and then hip check them.
Yeah. So it'd be like this.
Mop up.
So it's like they would be like, well, we're not hiring right now. I was like, okay, good. I'll be here tomorrow. And I walk out.
Yeah, and then when you turn around, look at them and shake the gloves, like.
Yeah, exactly. So like I would do it like
exactly. For you guys who don't know hockey, when they shake the gloves, that's exactly what's going on. Is they're saying, "Let's go, let's fight."
Yeah. That's pretty much
don't do that if you're trying to get employed somewhere. Don't shake gloves out.
Confidence and show no fear. Look them straight in the eyes and tell them exactly what's going on.
Oh, absolutely, 100%.
I'll see you tomorrow. Right. With a smile on your face, looking them straight in their eyes. I'll see you tomorrow. Shake their hand and then come back.
Yeah, I'm back.
At least you said tomorrow.
Yeah.
At least it wasn't tonight. That might get a
But if they really want to push my buttons, it's like if they tell me, no, this is how I got a job at Walmart, right? I went through the first series of interviews to showing up every day. There's 3 sets of interviews, and I went through 2 of them. They never called me back for the 3rd one. I'm like, all right, I don't take no for an answer. So what I did is I showed up at least like multiple times a day, write my name down on a piece of paper. I didn't care if anybody was in the department or not. I would just like press a little button, pull out the receipt, look behind the desk with a pen, write my name down. It's like, please give it to the HR, so on and so forth. I would do that multiple times a day, and and I went through the all 3 interviews with flying colors.
Nice.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's
persistence.
Being consistently persistent and making sure you're getting the attention. You have to get attention, otherwise nobody's even going to know who you are. They're not even going to take a second look.
It's all about standing out. If you're not standing out, you're going to be part of the crowd, and you're going to fade in.
Having a definite purpose and a definite plan, and just going back and back.
Yeah, that's one thing I've always told people. It's like when people it doesn't matter if I know them or not. It's like, hey, are you hiring? I was like, dude, we're always hiring. You just got to bug them. Put in your name, put in your app.
Dude, and that's the thing. People are like, oh, they're not hiring. People are always looking for good people.
Right.
Like, well, I mean, if they're running their business correctly, they're looking for good people. They're looking for people who want to be there and want to be actually contribute to their vision of it and help them actually grow. Right. They don't want the people there leeching off of it and
showing up late.
In my experience,
got an excuse. They're always sick and calling off.
Exactly. In my experience, like even when I had ran stores and I was in management and everything else, I wanted the people who kept showing up, the people who kept coming and saying, hey, look at me right here. Right. I've had to get rid of some people who were kind of doing that. They weren't performing, weren't taking their job seriously, and they were the first person that I called. Mm-hmm. And they ended up being a great choice. And that's just it, plain and simple. You have to show that, hey, I'm here. We're always looking for good people. If these people are running their business correctly, always looking for great people. And when they find them, it's an absolute click.
It's, hey, I'm here, I'm Chizzle, I'm gonna, work at your place. This is what I'm gonna do for you. Not, hey, I need a job and I got kids and like, what can you do for me? I need a paycheck. Like, they don't care.
Yeah.
Like if I'm running a business, someone says, hey man, I need a job. I don't care. I opened this company to make money. I didn't open this company to run a daycare, to run, a hospital, so to take care of people that are sick. Like, I opened this place to make money.
I'm running a business, not a pity party.
Right.
Exactly.
And if you show up and you're like, hey, I'm the guy that's going to make you money, I'm going to hire you. Because the guy that I hired that was like, oh, I'm always on time and this and that, and his wife's sick and he don't show up, and his kid's sick and he don't show up, and his dog ran away, he don't show up, and he ran out of gas in his car and he don't show up. And I'm like, I don't need this guy. He's costing me money. He's costing me overtime because he's not showing up. So then, someone that's hungry comes in and is like, hey, what's up? I want this job. I want to be
Weren't you here
I want to
yesterday?
do the job.
Weren't you here yesterday?
Yeah. Yeah, I was. I didn't know if someone got sick or got fired or someone died.
Exactly. Another thing that Les Brown says in that same thing is, I was hungry.
Right.
And I love the way he says it. But that's exactly what it is. That's what you got to be. You got to be like a hungry dog in the back of a meat truck.
Mm-hmm.
You got to be hungry. It's like the Millionaire Booklet by Cranker Dunn. Who's got my money?
Oh, I love you. I love it.
Who's got
I love it. That's my Uncle G right there.
Be obsessed or be average.
Yeah, I was actually going to say that. If you want to figure out how to, get fully committed to something completely, obviously he's been obsessed with
music,
breaking out into your music career for a long time now, 10 years since you started taking it seriously. And, like you were saying, whenever you needed to go get a job and you wanted to go get one, you were obsessed about getting out in front of people and getting there. So Be Obsessed or Be Average is an awesome book to really, really help you out with that. That's by Grant Cardone.
And one thing I've always done to keep myself persistent in music is I never took my job as serious as I should. Because, people are like, oh, you got to get a job with full-time hours. It's like I said, I felt I had this passion. So what I would do, instead of keeping the music as a hobby and my job, my full-time job, I would always go part-time on my job and treat that as the hobby and do music as my full-time job, even though I wasn't
first things first.
Exactly. Right. So I would keep that as a hobby. It would be like a mindset, a trick to your mind. It's like, I want to be part-time here, this full-time.
Right. But not in the sense of showing up, giving half-hearted efforts, nothing like that. No. You showed up, you did your job, you worked hard, but that was like hey, I need to make a little bit of money to keep this rolling, and then focusing and just being obsessed with your dreams.
Exactly. Because if you let your job take control of your life, you're going to lose your life, period.
Yeah. Don't sell your soul to the company.
Wake up, pay bills, go home, wake up, pay bills.
And it's funny because every job I go to, everyone is brain dead.
Well, and that's the biggest thing is you have to live your life according to your terms. You have to design your own life, and I think that's one of the biggest steps in actually doing it. We're almost out of time here, guys. I know we started getting good at it. I'm sure Chizzle will be back again one day. I had a lot of fun today. This has been a long time in the making, so we've been waiting for it.
My bad for my language.
Yeah, we haven't tamed him yet.
He's hip hop, man. He's hip hop. You guys like that from those guys.
So hey, if you guys want to get your name in the D&D show Fishbowl, all you got to do is hit a love, drop a comment, and share this post. What the Fishbowl is every 6 months we have a giveaway that we do, or once a month we have the giveaway. Every 6 months we purge your names out. So just because you didn't win this month doesn't mean that you're not going to win. Are we giving away? We're giving away the book. We talked about this last week too. Yeah, we should.
Yeah.
Dylan and I
Special edition.
Yeah. Dylan and I, we've set up our first book. We're still in the process of getting everything wrapped up for it, but we wanted to let you guys know
Saturday.
It
should be up on Kindle Books Saturday.
What?
Yeah. So if you don't, you can.
I didn't know that. Whoa.
Yep. It'll be posted to the Facebook page. So stay tuned for that. It is coming. We'll be putting it up on Kindle, and then soon after that we will have a published version, a print version.
So what we're going to do is we're actually going to do, we are going to give away some of the books, but we're actually going to do special edition, limited edition books for those of you guys that like, comment, and share on the show. And only those people in the drawing are going to ever get those. They're never going to be for sale. We're never going to give those away. Those are only for the dedicated show people, and those will have some extra stuff in it. So
don't miss the opportunity for knowledge.
yeah. I mean, how many books do you think you've been through?
Quite a few. Like I'm a slow reader. Like I like reading a little bit at a time and then kind of absorb it and take it into effect. So I take forever to read through my books.
Mm-hmm.
But I like to, just.
Everybody that's hungry.
Actually, I take that back.
Hungry.
The books are knowledge. It's applied knowledge that's power. Right?
You need the knowledge to be able to apply it, but if you
don't.
don't apply the knowledge, I mean, librarians should be billionaires. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
but if they were to take that knowledge and do something with it, that's powerful, man.
It's only an illusion. So
if they got that persistence and that consistency and that hungry, I mean, that hungry side and that obsession of, man, this is going to get done. Because a lot of people, man, they start off in their garages and everybody points and laughs and, you just don't really believe those guys, and then boom, and they just blow up, and you're like, how did that happen?
Like Eminem,
I must have got lucky.
Eminem Hops, and Eminem used to break into places to stay, and then he got discovered by Dre, and next thing you know, it blew up. Nobody would think it would amount to anything. Einstein was the same thing. They thought he was handicapped, and then he just blew up as one of the world's biggest scientists, Nikola Tesla. They thought he was mad, So
the first guy
that was my problem too.
The first guy that ever came out with the radio, he's like, hey, I can send this invisibly, and you're not going to be able to hear it until it reaches this other little box.
Marconi. He was actually locked up. They put him in the madhouse.
The guy that came out with the radio, his friends locked him up in a mental institution because they're like, yeah, sure they can, buddy.
Marconi. And then he's like, haha, here it is.
No, I actually meant it.
All right. But anyways, that's all the time we have for today, guys. My name is Donnie. I am that D from the D&D show.
I'm Dylan Bourgeois. I'm that D from the D&D show.
And I'm the other random guy. Chizzle.
This is Chizzle. He's got a new album out. You guys can go check it out on YouTube. Just Chizzle 72. The title of it is Zigzag. You can check it out in the comments below. Peace. Again, where's that?
End it.
I'm trying.